Welcome back. My name is Simon Johnson. I'm an analyst covering tech and gaming here at ABG. Next up on today's agenda, we have Thomas and Ulrich from Nepa. They will hold a presentation of the company, and after which I will host a short Q&A. With that said, I leave the floor to you guys.
Thank you, Simon, and welcome and happy to have you listening to us. Just shortly, Thomas is Nepa's CFO stand-in, as our ordinary CFO is on paternity leave, but she will be back from start of January. I'm Ulrich Boyer. I'm the CEO of Nepa since August this year. Focus of this session will be on the company, as I hope that most of you have been reading our latest report from Q3, which we are very proud of. And let's go to the company presentation. What we do? Well, we are a consumer insight company, but we are also a tech company. So we are somewhere in between there, and our sweet spot is the tech augmented advisory. We have been doing this since 2006, when I was one of those founding the company. And we are today around 260 employees. IPO was 5 years ago, 2016. We have won the Swedish prize, DE Gazelle, 6 times. And well, today we are operating in about 50 countries. And our growth is about 3 times what is common in our industry. So we have been becoming quite big, but compared to the big global competitors we have, like Kantar, Ipsos, and GfK, we are really, really small. And there's still a lot of potential for us to accelerate the growth, both with existing clients, but also with clients we do not yet have. In Sweden, we became the second largest research company 2020. And we aim to be one of the larger ones globally as well, of course. Good. So what challenges do we solve for our clients, and why do they want to work with us? About 94%, basically all CMOs, struggle to demonstrate how marketing impacts sales. And 70% of their bosses want to know a little bit more about that, how that works, because otherwise you won't get a budget as a CMO. So, and this challenge is very complex. And there's a lot of companies trying to help brands with that, but most of them are only looking at what we call the lower part of the funnel, which is basically CRM, CX work, where you work optimizing the way you handle those people already known to you, customers already known to you. What we help our clients with is the upper part of the funnel mainly, which is getting new customers. And that's a big difference. And as in the beginning of the internet era, cookies was a big thing, because you could see how customers came in on when you did internet marketing, and that worked very well. Nowadays, this doesn't work well at all anymore, because cookies are basically has been pushed back in line with the GDPR legislation, which in turn gives us a little bit more business. So what Nepa gives our client is a measurable way of working in the areas of the upper funnel where you can get new customers to your brand. And we give advice on optimizing brand strengths and optimizing your marketing investments in areas where others leave a big gap. And we do that with a high tech part of our offer. So, with that said, what can be more say about what we do? Well, our vision is to become the world's leading data to growth company. Why data to growth? Well, what you do when you help brands getting new customers is that you really help them to grow. And we have been helping a lot of companies to grow during the 15 years of our existence. And our vision is to become the world's leading one, and that we do by investing in a tech platform, and we do that by being what we call augmented consulting. Now, let's talk a little bit about what that concrete means in terms of our offers. We have three basic different solution areas. It's Nepa marketing optimization. That is the biggest one we have, and that is where it's about 60% of our turnover in that area. Then we have innovation acceleration, which is like a complementary to Nepa marketing optimization. Within marketing optimization, you will find most of our recurrent offer, where we offer like brand tracking and like gathering data and gathering insight ongoing every day of the year to optimize all your touch points and your marketing investments. The innovation acceleration is more on top add-ons, where you buy things about like to learn more about your market, concept, your price, and relation to competitors. And then we have Nepa customer experience, which is CX, where we offer our clients a complementary part to what we do in the upper part of the funnel to get the whole picture of how their customers move through from being only a consumer, maybe knowing the brand or not knowing the brand, until they are a customer. But here that's not where we mainly focus, because there are lots and lots of competitors there, and the price press is quite heavy in that area. Good. Let's go to our consumer science platform, where you can see how all this works together. The basic idea of like marketing, or the basic picture we use is what you call the marketing funnel. Somewhere on the top in the marketing funnel, you as a consumer, if you buy something, you are not known for the brand. You maybe don't even know the brand, and then the first thing you do is you get in touch in some way, and then you get deeper into the marketing funnel as you learn to know more about the brand, and finally, hopefully, become a customer, and then you get a customer several times. So, as I said, our focus is the upper part of the funnel. It's marketing optimization, and that is 60% of the biggest part of our recurring business is there. Last quarter, it was 72% in total within marketing optimization. And it is about what strategy to use, what return on investment you get on marketing, how can we optimize touch points in order to and that such improve purchase decisions, and how does your segmentation of your customers look like? And it's our solutions are ad and brand tracker, marketing mix modeling based on tracking, pre and post testing, and past to purchase. Customer experience is the lower part of the funnel, where you mainly focus on, okay, how can you improve loyalty around the customer, and how can you get them as a regular buyer. So innovation acceleration is which new products and services to launch, when, what price, how to package them, and so on. Then we also have a lot of partners we work with to get all the data into this and get the right data. We work with Facebook, we work with Google, we work with Snapchat, and we work, for example, with Cint and others to get the data. Facebook is a close partner to us. We have quite recently released a joint white paper about how to do marketing mix modeling in order to find really concrete execution guides for social media marketing, for example. And these close cooperations with these companies gives us an advantage in form of very granular and very correct digital data. So all this is delivered in our platform then through different modules. And here we basically have a price list on this, ones for like media performance, brand strengths, brand positions, NPS, for example. And then you can end on these different parts. And this is sold then as a recurring, so people, our clients, they sign on for 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever, and then they choose what they want to have, and then we deliver it, either both in the platform in these beautiful pictures as on our dashboard, or right into their systems as data files. So what then are our important differentiators? Well, I know that a lot of you maybe think that we are a consulting company, but we are basically never invoicing our clients for worked hours. That's not how we do. We sell a service, and that service is sold in a package. Usually and mostly, it's sold as a recurring revenue, so we send them an invoice every month. And sometimes when what we call ad hoc projects, then it's like a project worth a certain amount of money, where the clients want us to work on an ad hoc basis. So and what our sweet spot is, what we call tech augmented advisory, and that is based on the recurrent stream of revenues, where we combine tech and consulting and the research knowledge. And what is happening there is that basically, that the consultants, they have all the data like ready in form of a PowerPoint or in form of the dashboard to look at and to work with. And then they can take this knowledge very easily to clients. That makes us also a little bit more independent of like the consultant's experience. Because, when you have a lot of knowledge in a platform, then experience, you don't need 50 years of experience in order to know what's happening in the market, for example, in a certain area. Well, how do we deliver all this? we collect the data, we integrate the data, we analyze the data in the platform, and then we give the client and ourselves the ability to act on this data in our client-facing systems. And what we do is that we tailor insights in order to make them understandable for those who are the receiver of the data. That might be out there in the organization, like the client, the customer-facing people, or it might be the marketing department, or it might be the insight department. So how does then the money come in? Our revenue streams, so to speak. Well, so last quarter, last report, it was 63% of our revenues that were recurring, meaning that they were that was not a one-off. It was like a revenue stream that will continue after the quarter as well. So, and meaning with that is that it's ongoing contracts with a notice period, and that notice period is a little bit different because sometimes like we have like 12 months contracts, and then you can like end them like 3 months before the end of the year, and then it's another year, or it's ongoing 3 months, or it is like 24 months or 36 months, and then it's like they are renewed once 1 year at a time, and all variants are existing. But basically that's how it works. And the interesting thing with that is that our churn is very, very low. You know, like the year before we went to the stock exchange, we bought another company, which was a sister company to us, and like the old form of Nepa, basically, with a little bit more consulting in. And you know, our oldest client, we have that client since 1996. So just, you know, to give you a perspective. So most clients we have been working for several years, and then and we usually there's a standard scope in this recurring and a standard price for the project agreed with the client. That's how it works. And our goal is to have like 2/3 of our revenue recurring. If I would wish for, I would like to have 100, because then I wouldn't have to work so much. But that's, yeah, then sometimes maybe it's also boring when you don't have to sell anymore. Ad hoc is then invoice per project. But even from that ad hoc part of our business, 60% of that is done for clients that we also have a recurring revenue stream. And that is because, you know, I can show you a little bit now about how we work with clients, the typical client journey, just in order to give you an idea like how this works. Most clients, when they start with us and never have worked with Nepa before, maybe not even heard about Nepa before, we sell in an ad hoc project because they want to try it out. It's reasonable. Then if they like us and they like what they've got, they start some kind of more regular work with us. And usually more regular work for us is brand tracking as in a subscription model. So they start tracking. They maybe start tracking for one of their markets, maybe like Finland or Sweden or UK or whatever. They do that. And then if they are satisfied, they add another market or another market. And that's how the business is growing. Then on top of that, then they might see that, oh, we want to have insights meetings, that most clients want that. And that is where our augmented advisory comes in. Because in that insights meeting, we present or we tell the clients how we look on the data and what we think is the necessary next step and what they should act on and what they should do, basically. And then there's a discussion, of course, and often these insights meeting end with some extra sales on that they want to know about the willingness to pay in a subscription model, or they want to have a media marketing mix modeling, or they want to increase the report frequency, or they want to change the data collection because they want to have like more knowledge about more details, and then you need a little bit more data. Yes, so usually that is how our existing business is growing. And often the start of a client relationship is an ad hoc project. Good. Where are we now? As I said before, we are growing fast. Nepa Sweden is growing with 7%, on average 16 to 20. And the Swedish market was under this time growing with 2%. And globally, we are growing during the same time on average with 15%. And the global market with 4%. And that in spite of that we tried to establish during this time a US business and failed. So, or almost failed. We have still US business left, but it's not a big one. And right now, not our focus either. But it is existing, it's growing a little bit, and one day we will be back again, but not right now. Yes. Now, the financials. If you are interested, I don't know, most of you probably have read this. We had a fantastic, what we think, compared to our expectations again, 2021. You know, we were still, when we did the budget, it was still very much COVID, and it was very much unclear where we would end up. So in the light of this is really good. When you look back, what we have performed earlier, this is okay. This is what you can expect from a year like that. And especially when we think about that our long-term roadmap, we are still in the legacy, what we call legacy cleanup. What we mean with that is that we have had our first platform we constructed since our start is now like going to be is being replaced by a new delivery platform, and that is like we are in the process of that. We have written about that in the quarterly reports, and when that is done, we can focus more on growth and expansion again, because then we have all the tech setup ready to easily take on more business. Today we are in between somewhere there, but soon we are ready, and we are really seeing forward to that. So, yes. So again, we have the strong demand continued in Q3, and it's looking good even today. Strong market position with 63% recurring revenue, and the strategic agenda is moving according to plan. We aim to finish our legacy cleanup during the first half year of 2022, and we are at the same time making ourselves ready for our growth phase. And then, of course, we will invest in our tech-augmented advisory in order to increase delivery efficiency and take Nepa to the next level of knowledge. Our dream there is, that in 20 years maybe we have like not a consultant standing in front of the client, but rather an avatar. I don't know, a Nepian avatar, maybe an orange one, because that's our company color. Yes, and underlying demand for decision-making support, we do expect that is very, very strong. I think the marketing landscape is getting more and more complicated, so we are sure that our clients will need us. Yes, ownership, nothing, it's not a big change. I'm the second biggest owner, was in the end of September. I think right now I'm the biggest one. Good, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ulrich.
Q&A.
Yes, let's turn to some questions. And to start off, how far has the market come in the digital transformation that you have been a large part of. I mean, you have steadily gained market share in Sweden. How much room is there for you to continue to grab market share from the established market research players like Kantar Sifo, for example?
Very big are the chances that we are taking market share. You know, we see that continuously that we are taking clients from, for example, Kantar and Sifo. Not in all areas. Sifo is specialized, for example, in audience measurement. That's not where we are. But within helping brands to grow and continuous tracking and this kind of consumer data deliveries, I think we are leading, at least from a technology perspective. And then I also have to say that, you know, like Nepa's growth during the last year has been more demand-driven than sales-driven. So we haven't really tried to sell hard yet. So that is to come.
Okay, because you were a digital pioneer back in the days.
Yes.
But you still think that you have a relatively large competitive advantage digitally.
Yes, and we are. I think we are also building it like we are. What do you say? We are extending the gap to our the others, because we are building more technology in our delivery every day that goes. So yeah, and we will have we have now that possibility to go into the next phase of that growth. Yes.
Okay, and a question for Thomas maybe. You have steadily increased your profitability recently. Can we expect the profit margins to stay at these levels for the next couple of years, or how should we see it?
Yeah, I will not answer that question, obviously, but I mean, we haven't seen in this quarter any sort of decrease in the margins. So,
I mean, do you expect to like increase investments or?
Yeah, we will certainly do. Maybe Ulrich can broaden that answer a little bit. But
Absolutely. We will invest more money in trying to, or in order to get ahead of the competition a little bit more than we are now. You know, it's always comfortable to be a little bit more ahead than just a little bit. So that's what we want to do. Yes, sure. Because I think, you know, like we think that it's a good chance to grow faster, and there are two components in faster growth. One is that you need to sell more, and you do that by asking more customers to buy. That I think is one thing, that we want to build a sales organization better than the one we have today. And we will also try to widen the gap in way of our delivery compared to our competitors, and that we do by investment in tech. And investments in tech for us, it means both that we will rise our quality, we will rise the perceived value of what the clients get, not only the perceived, but also the real value, and we will have a better internal efficiency in producing this.
Okay, thank you. I'm afraid that was all we had time for today, but thank you, Ulrich and Thomas, for coming.
Thank you,
and thank you, the audience, for tuning in.
Thank you all.